Hello and welcome to Victory Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Jocelyn Victoria. Today happens to be the 1st of April, and this is not an April Fool. This is the start of Financial Literacy Month. And so we will be spending some time intentionally this month going through some key financial concepts and focusing on that this month in particular, so that you have the tools and information you need to win with money. Since it is the 1st of the month today, we will be talking briefly about 3 things that need to happen by the 1st of the month in order to make sure your household finances are in order. And then we'll take, over the rest of the week, we'll take a deep dive into each of these 3 things. So the first thing is by the end of the previous month or by the 1st of the next month, you want to make sure that you have balanced, and another word for it is reconcile, your financial accounts with your financial institution. And that can be your bank, your credit union, even your credit card specifically. You want to make sure that you take those steps to make sure that what your records say should be in that account or charged to that account, and what the financial institution's records say. You want to make sure those match. And you don't want to start the month without that, because you want to have the most accurate information that you can have in order to plan your finances for the present month or the current month. The second thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're fully aware of all the obligations that you have for the month coming up, when they will be due, how much they are, and to whom they're payable. And in addition to that, you also want to project what are you going to spend on the day-to-day things, the groceries, the gas? Are you going to make any clothing purchases, any purchases for your children for school? You want to try to list those out ahead of time so that you can plan and anticipate those expenses. And the third thing that you want to do by the 1st of the month is take all that information, the resources you have available, the obligations you have, and the expenditures that you're planning to make, and work that all up into a spending plan, which is also called a budget. And you do that by amount and by category. And that way you have a fair idea of what you're planning to spend and where that money is going to go. You need to make sure that every dollar that you have allocated within your spending plan for the month has a job, it has a name, it's going here or there, you know where it's going. So once you've done that, the magic of how a budget or spending plan works is that you don't stop there. Then as you go along throughout the month, you're going to track those expenses, and every expense that you planned, or even the ones you haven't planned, are going to be tracked against that budget and against those categories. And you're going to ensure that you're spending what you plan to spend. And if you didn't, that's fine. Then you need to make a new plan and reallocate some resources from somewhere else within your means to cover those expenses. That's what makes the budget work. Not when you write it and put it on a shelf. You have to plan it, and then you have to go back to it throughout the month and make sure that you're on track. So we'll be taking a deeper dive into each of those 3 aspects, the balancing or reconciling of the accounts, the calendarizing and planning of your expenses, and the spending plan that takes both of those items into account. And in the meantime, I appreciate your time today. I want to ask you to remember 2 things, and that is that resources tracked diligently stretch farther, and always take time each day to make a joyful noise to the Lord. Thanks for your time.